Over to Facebook. And just wait. It will start to come up. There we go. It's fetching the stream.
Okay, so I don't have to connect.
You have to hit the big blue button down at the bottom, right there. Yep, okay. Start streaming.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
And it is Monday, and as you can see, we got some hot ends and nozzles on the table. We're going to talk about that kind of stuff today. For those that aren't into 3D printing, well, you know, you may not want to watch this show or be a part of the live stream. But for those of you that are, stick around, because we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about some nozzles. We're going to talk about different hot ends. We are going to talk about whatever questions you might have. And I see Kathleen's there. Hello, Kathleen. Welcome. And Heath Tompkins is there. Hello, Heath. We're going to get underway at about 1:30, so I thought I'd do just a little bit of a pre-stream before we start. So much cool stuff to learn. Yes, there is lots to learn. And that's what these live streams are all about. They're helping you, help me, to help you. That sounded kind of bad, didn't it? And with us today, we have our first new, and hopefully for a long time, live stream producer. With us is Frank Awesome. Come on over here, Frank. People will be able to see you then. See, that's Frank.
Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm looking at the camera. Everybody.
Frank's going to help.
Behind the scenes kind of guy.
Frank's going to start helping us with the live streams because I don't need any help with the recorded show, but he's going to help us with the live streams. Yes, it is morning where you are, isn't it, Heath? It's actually afternoon where I am. Heath is in the land down under. Heath was one of my regulars when I did a show all about scale model building. And Kathleen, as you can see, some stuff has changed in the background yet again. I've moved stuff around. Brett Pereira, welcome. But today we're talking about nozzles and hot ends and all kinds of cool stuff. Let me just move that back to this to kind of give you guys an idea of where we're going with our talk today. And if you guys have any questions or any concerns, well, there's one concern. There's that fat guy on the TV or on the internet. Yeah, that's me. If you're watching this in the live stream or you're watching this in the rebroadcast afterwards, please go ahead, if you're watching this down on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell for notifications so that you get notified whenever we do brand new episodes or when we're doing live streams. And today we are streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. And I finally hung up my 3D printed Facebook sign in the background for anybody who didn't see that, which is always fun. And wouldn't you know it, my page has to be, are we still streaming there? We are still streaming there, aren't we?
We are, but it's lagging a lot. It's really
Yeah,
lagging.
it's that kind of day. It looks like we're going to have that kind of day because I can't even see the video on my side. That's okay. We got 5 minutes. I can't see it here.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Hey, Paul Carew. There we go. Now I've got it. Or Paul Carew, who is another friend of mine. Welcome, Paul.
Yeah, it's 8 seconds behind. That's how much the lag is.
Yeah, that makes sense. So today I want to just kind of dive into some stuff. We're going to talk about Wednesday's show as well coming up. As you all know, Wednesday is my pre-recorded show. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the show. So on the Wednesday show, we are going to be talking about Malix3design.com, and Malix3designs.com is a place where you can go and find statues of your favorite Marvel, DC characters, Mortal Kombat, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He just released some Walking Dead stuff if you're into the Walking Dead. Evan McClelland, welcome. So we're going to talk, we're going to do a whole profile on Malik 3 design on Wednesday. But today we're talking hot ends, nozzles, and I'm taking your questions about the different hot ends. And the reason that we're doing the show today like this is because a brand new article just came down from E3D, and I want to reference that article a little bit and show you the differences between these. We are using a higher end. We're going to talk about a little bit about a higher end extruder than the one they mentioned in the article, just because I think it's a better extruder. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. Evan says, hey, Kathleen, so I think I understand the nozzles, but what are the hot ends? Okay. In about 3 minutes, three, not 4, 3. In about 3 minutes, I am going to tell you the difference between a nozzle and a hot end. A nozzle is a component of a hot end, and I'll explain what these guys are on my table today. And yeah, we'll go from there. So we got lots of people that are coming in and out today. Again, if you haven't, David Lazenby, another good friend of mine, who showed up today. Great to see you, Kathleen. Or David, and it's always great to see Kathleen too. I love seeing Kathleen. She's always here. She's always a great motivator. Kathleen and I met during some broadcasts of Live Streaming Pros. Kathleen is a wonderful person. She's got her own live streams that she does. And Kathleen, if you want to plug that in the comments, you go right ahead. I have no problem with that. I hear my voice in the background here. There we go. Frank's being meticulous today, and he's checking to see how much lag I have today. So we're gonna get started here in 2 minutes. If you didn't turn your clocks back, it's almost 2:30 for you. If you did turn your clocks back, well, it's 1:30 here Mountain Standard Time. And, you know, we like it. Who is this and what did I do with Richard? Well, Richard shaved off his mustache at the beginning of November because it is Movember. And Movember is the time when we show our support for men's health issues, not only physical, but also mental health issues. And I shave off my mustache at the beginning of every November, and I let my mustache and my beard all grow in. And by the end of the month, I'm going to look like a hobo. Jason Tyler Thomas Mintenko, welcome, sir. Nice to see you here. And Evan, I'm always a nice guy. And yes, Evan, you haven't seen me with my new glasses yet either. Today I am not promoting, but I am drinking Rockstar to fuel my needs because I'm an old guy and I need fuel. All right. So there we are, 1:30. It's time to get started. Let's start talking about nozzles. So on all3dp.com, today they released the 4 best 3D printer hot ends that you can buy. And the number one hot end that they came up with was the, let me switch over here to the E3D V6. That's this hot end right here. And I'm going to show it to you. Now this hot end, as a kit, retails for around 89 bucks here in Canada, and for this kit, I believe it's 110 or 120. Or for this one's all pre-done. So let me see if I can get that in camera. So this is a Boden version. I'm not going to go into the differences between Boden and direct drive today, but we will talk about that on another episode. Now, this particular hot end is all ready to go into your machine. If we pull it out of the box, you can see that all the wires are already attached and it's ready to be hooked up to your printer. And this will fit on 99.9% of printers. I've not run into a printer yet that it cannot hook up to. Of course, you're going to have to probably print off a custom mount for this. Most people will do that anyway if they want to move up. Now, I will tell you there are clones out there of this particular hot end, and you can find them online. Most Chinese websites, you can find them online for roughly around 8 to 15 bucks. What you're getting there is not precision machined printer head or nozzle. So it can be a bit of a trial and error to get it to work. From all of my experience with this particular nozzle, it works right out of the box. There's no futzing around, no messing around. You install it, away you go. Heath Tompkins has a question here. It says, he's asking, do you think 3D printing is another way of model building? And yes, absolutely I do. I think 3D printing and model building are something that goes hand in hand. With the amount of model builders out there and the amount of 3D models that are being done every day. And we've talked a little bit about different sites where you can find models, and we're going to go into a deeper episode on that later on. But yes, I think that it is an extension of plastic model building. You can get models that you can't find commercially from different artists that are out there. So the short answer to your question is yes, I do believe it is. So the E3D, now what this particular hot end is good for, you can get it in 1.75 and 3 millimeter sizes. It can be mounted to nearly every available commercial DIY FDM 3D printer. And in Canada, it retails for around $89. I'm going to put links on the Facebook page for this a little bit later on, where you can find one from Spool 3D. And we have to give a little bit of love to spool3d.ca just because they provide us with this wonderful space to do the show and do the live streams each and every week for you guys. So it's important that we always give them some love. Now, moving on, the next one that they talked about in the article was the Diabase Flexion extruder. Now, what a Flexion extruder is it will handle a different type of material, a flexible material. And not a lot of people use flexible materials or even know how to use flexible materials. I've run across people that have tried to put flexible materials through a normal extruder, and because of the way that a normal extruder is designed, what happens with flexible materials is that it bunches up. So with a Flexion extruder, what happens with that is that you can put flexible materials into it without it binding and you wasting your material. And that's one of the big assets to having a Flexion extruder. I'm going to just go back to this camera over here. And this is the Flexion HT extruder kit. This retails for around 250 bucks Canadian. This is the single kit for an i3. Now you'll notice that this one says HT on the label. That means that this one's good for using with high temperature plastics as well. And we'll just give it a little open here. And with every one of them, you get a few stickers to put on so you can brand your printer. Now, as you can see inside here, it comes with a variety of things. I'm just going to quickly explain that. You have your wrenches over here. You can see they're right here. And then you have your heat block, which is right here. And then, of course, you have your nozzle and heater core assembly. I'm just going to pull one of these out. Now, this is an all-metal assembly, with the exception of this PTFE liner, or this liner tube that you see here. That goes down roughly to about this point here, just where it meets the rubber or the silicone gasket. And you can put in your heater cartridge and your thermistor so you can measure the temperature of this unit as well. It comes with 2 heads. Again, it's for high temperature plastics. This is where all the magic happens, right here on this portion of the extruder, because how it's designed is when the filament goes in through the top here, it comes down and follows this groove right down through here. And you can adjust this by using this wheel. Once you have it all put together, you can adjust the tension of this extruder so that if you're not putting too much tension on the filament itself. So this is great for plastics that have a elastic property to them, or a flexible plastic or a flexible filament. And now everything's just kind of falling off here. That's because it's not all put together the way it should be. Now this will mount directly to your motor, and the same way you would put on any other type of extruder. And I see Mark there. Welcome, Mark. So if you're in the market for doing flexible materials, and sometimes you may want to do flexible materials, this particular extruder, again, this is the HT, so it sells for a little bit more than the regular upgrade kit. This one is $250, I believe. Again, you have a variety of nozzles, you get 2 heads, everything that you need to put this into your existing, onto your existing printer. And again, this one will go to pretty much any printer, FDM style printer. So again, you can get these in 1.75 and 3 millimeters. They fit on printers with a Mark 8, 9, and 10 hot ends. So you're looking at your Creality CR10s, your FlashForge, Lulzbot TAS6, PrinterBot Simple Metals, Prusa i3s, Robo 3Ds, Wanhao Duplicator i3s, Monoprice Select, Tivo Tarantula, and the list goes on and on and on and on. So this is a very good extruder setup for that. And you get a couple of nice little stickers with it. You also get stickers with the E3D, but nobody really cares about that because they're stickers, right? Unless you're into stickers. And some people are into stickers. I'm not. Well, yes, I am. I'm into stickers. So there you go. So those are the 2, again, that you can pick up online. Again, this is the HT, so it's a little bit more expensive than the regular Flexion extruder kit. So be aware of that. And now we're going to move on to nozzles. Now what I have in this little case here, as I switch back, I get asked about nozzles all the time, and this is a nozzle pro pack from E3D. So this has a variety of different nozzles in it. It has some brass, some copper plated, and some hardened steeled ones. And I'm just going to open this up for you. So it comes with a wrench. And the reason that it comes with a wrench is because a lot of times we don't know what socket will fit these, I don't know how well you guys can see those on camera. I struggle all the time. I know it's a 7 millimeter wrench that you need to put these particular ones on. And sometimes you need a 6 millimeter wrench depending on the nozzle that you're getting. The reason I wanted to show off these ones today is because it shows the 3 basic nozzles, or the 3 different styles of nozzles that are available to you. Over here we have a brass nozzle. Brass nozzle you're typically going to find on most of your extruders or hot ends, pardon me. You're going to find them on most of your hot end assemblies when you first get it. Now a brass nozzle is great for your PLA plastic. They're also really good for your ABS and your PETG. If you're running anything that has any kind of abrasive in it, such as wood, metal, glow-in-the-dark filaments, they're not recommended, and The reason that is because the abrasives that are in them will eat right through that brass in no time at all. And so yeah, it'll eat through that brass in no time at all, and then you'll find yourself replacing nozzles or getting clogs, or there's a ton of things that can happen. So now let's move on to the stainless steel ones, which are in the middle. Now these are plated stainless steel, so they're not quite the hardness of a hardened nozzle, but they can accept filaments that have other properties to them, such as the wood filament, which actually has wood fiber in it. You could print polycarbonates through it, that kind of stuff. You could print the metals through it as well. You'll wear this one out a little bit faster if you do that. So I recommend that, you know, move up to a hardened, and we're going to talk about the hardened steel in a moment. Hardened steel is very cool, but they're very, very expensive for a nozzle. A brass nozzle is going to run you in the neighborhood of about $4 for a brass nozzle. If you go to a stainless steel, you're usually doubling that price. I'm just going to go up to the Spool 3D website here real quick, and we're just going to look at nozzles. There we go. So if we look at a brass nozzle, they're usually right around $4 or $5 to get a brass nozzle. And when you move up to a hardened steel nozzle, if we go back here, you move up to, you can hardly see them because they're so black. I'm going to put one on the table. The hardened steel nozzles, these little guys right here, to get a hardened steel nozzle, you're looking at $30. So there's quite a jump from $4 to $30. This is going to last you so much longer than a brass nozzle will. These are a bit of a pain to clean if you happen to get a clog, but at the same time, they're going to last you a lot longer, and they're going to be able to handle the higher temperature filaments. A kit like this is the Pro Pack. This particular Pro Pack is going to run in and about, oh, and in contrast, I should say that the plated nozzles, these are going to run you in the neighborhood of about $15 to $25, depending on the ones you're looking at. And let's see if I can't find that kit. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, I just hate it when I can't find something. Here we go, the Pro Pack. This pack of nozzles that you're seeing today, this pack is worth $117, so there's some value there. When you consider two of these nozzles alone are 30 bucks a piece. So there's $60 right there, and then you've got another $40 to $50 in the stainless steel, and then $8 there. So you're getting really good value for your money in buying a pack like this, and you can get them pretty much in whatever sizes you need. So they're definitely a good thing to have. I always try and keep extra throats and extra nozzles available in my kit, and we're going to talk about the differences in throats at another time. But that being said, you know, it all depends on where you're going to start and what you eventually want to do. And I've talked about this many times regarding 3D printers. When you're buying your first 3D printer, do your research. Absolutely do your research. I did not do my research when I got my first printer. I found a printer, I liked it, I got it. It looked good to me. I didn't know anything about the company. I read some of the reviews. Some of the reviews said it was pretty good. And when I finally got it, it really wasn't the best printer for me. So subsequently, now I have two name brand printers. I have the Wanhao Duplicator 6, and I have a Wanhao i3. Wanhao makes a very good product. If this is your first printer, you don't want to build a kit, you're not, you know, technically inclined, then I say go out and get yourself something that's very, very easy to set up. And the Wanhao Duplicator i3 is very easy to set up. Kathleen makes comments, so many things to think about, lots of options. There are tons of options in 3D printing. It's like anything else out there. There's tons of options, and you can go from printing with PLA, which is the majority of people that are into 3D printing are printing with PLA. I think most of the stuff that you see behind me on the shelf is all printed with PLA. There's no ABS back there. PLA is polylactate acid. That's what PLA stands for. It's made from corn, so it's biodegradable. It breaks down in a landfill. I wouldn't use it in an area where it's going to be very hot. Like I wouldn't make something for my car and put it on the dashboard, because on a hot summer day I'd come back to a puddle of plastic. Then I would move up to something like ABS or PETG, which are two higher temperature plastics, which again you can use with a brass nozzle. You don't have to go out and spend $25 or $20 for stainless steel nozzle. You can get them, you can still use your brass nozzle with those particular filaments. Again, where it starts to get into money is when you want to start printing with polycarbonates, carbon fiber, any of the metal filaments that are out there, like the brass and the copper, and there's tungsten, and there's just a variety of different ones out there. If you're interested in seeing what different filaments are available, I do encourage you to go to spool3d.ca. It does help out the channel. It does help out the show, and helps me to keep making more videos for you guys and doing live streams twice a week. So go over to spool3d.ca, print it right, print it with spool3d.ca. They've got everything that you need over there, from printers to filaments to parts to all the stuff that you need to build your own printer if you have a design in mind. So that, and we're going to talk about design and that kind of stuff a little bit later on down the line as well. I do want to let you guys know that there are still stickers left for the first layer. If you really want to get a sticker for the first layer, you don't have one, you can send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to the address that should be right here.
Other side.
Other side, right there. Right there. I should know by now, it's over here. So if you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to this address, I will be happy to send you out one of the first layer stickers. And these are printed by our good friends over at creativefactor.ca. If you're needing any printing work done, go over and see them. Got to give everybody a little plug once in a while. So yeah, check out, if you want to get one of these, I'm happy to send one to you. If you decide you want to throw in a little donation, all the donations that are coming in or that will be coming in with stickers or requests for stickers, we are going to put that into a great big bucket. And at the end of the year, we're going to take it over to the Foothills Hospital for the neonatal intensive care unit. That's what we want to raise money for. So if you want to help us out with that, great. If you just want to get a sticker, again, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope to the first layer, 230 11 929 40th Street Southeast, Calgary, Alberta, T2Z 4M8. And I had to look at it over here on my monitor. I want to say hi to Rudy Yetten, who is another friend of mine, and Kevin LeBlanc. Kevin LeBlanc, that guy, if he's around here, I got to watch him. Actually, he's a very good friend of mine. I love him like a brother. And he lives up in Edmonton now, and I miss him. We used to hang out all the time. We used to do props together. So thank you again, everybody, for joining me on today's live stream. We've been here for almost a half an hour with the pre-show. If you've got any questions, now's the time to ask them, or you can leave your questions down in the comments below, because I do come back and check all the comments later on. And it's been actually really good having Frank here today, because Frank got to put up a lot of the stuff that you saw around my head, and he helped me clean up the back here a little bit too. So Frank is going to be with us every Monday and Friday for our live streams, and he's going to help us produce the show. And as we get more things going on here, and I get them trained a little bit more on the software and the hardware end of it, it'll look a little fancier. Maybe some lower thirds, maybe some other titling. Who knows?
Little poly transitions.
Yeah, a couple poly transitions. Who knows? Kathleen says, thanks, Frank. I thank Frank, too, for showing up. And as always, you guys take care, keep printing, and if you're not printing yet, keep watching the show, and you'll get a printer sooner or later. Until next time, I'll see you on Friday.
I hit finish, right?
And now you got to stop the stream.
I go done here.
Yep.
And does that stop the stream, or do I?
Nope, that only stops the stream on Facebook.
Okay.
Now you want to stop the stream.